Hey everybody, it's your girl Nici. How are you guys doing? You look wonderful, beautiful, amazing, and I love that you are here with me. We're doing some Am I the Asshole stories. They range very differently, they're very different subjects. Their titles caught my attention, so I hope they grab yours. Thank you for buckling up and joining me on this ride. See you shortly. Let's get into it. First things first, we have Am I the Butthole for threatening my sister that I was going to tell my niece what DP means. So, unfortunately for me, 30 female, my initials are DP, first and middle name. And for those who don't know, it's also the abbreviation for double penetration. Throughout the end of middle school and all of high school, it was a very easy target for bullying. Amongst other things, this is the only ugh. Among other things, one always this one always annoyed me. Of course my sister knows it annoys me. Always has. She thinks it's hilarious. She lives about an hour away from me, so we can only manage to see each other like once or twice a month. My sister has a daughter, 10 female, whom I love dearly, but she can be a little bit of a shit. Every once in a while, my sister likes to mess with me and will throw around a Aunt DP, etc. Go ask Aunt DP. Call her Auntie B. She hates it. Yesterday, she came over with my niece to spend some time with me and my kid. We started bickering because she never picks up after herself. Minor sister shit. Our kids are in the same room, so she looks at her daughter and says, Ask Auntie P if she's mad, bro. My niece doesn't skip a beat. Auntie P, why are you mad, bro? I look at my sister dead in her eyes and said, Next time she calls me Aunt DP around the kids, or has her kids say it, I'm telling her what it really means. Again, without skipping a beat, my niece says, Wait, what do you mean? What does it really mean? I thought it was just your name. And asked a few more times. I just told her to drop it. They left and I thought it blew over. But I know my 10-year-olds are. My sister just texted me saying her daughter has nonstop been asking what DP means, that I was a butthole for saying it in front of her. She's afraid she'll go ask her friends. I said she should have let her think it was just my initials and it'll ruin her innocence. I told her that's her problem and she should have stopped calling me that shit years ago when we graduated high school. So am I the butthole for saying I'd tell her? And would I be the asshole if I did? Because I swear, one more Aunt TP away from telling her. Edit for clarity. She didn't give me the nickname. The kids in middle school did, but she always thought it was hilarious. Um, if you don't tell this child, if you don't tell your child how much of a bully your sister is and how much her friends are, because for this to have started and for your sister to like totally be okay with this, like your sister is supposed to be your ride or die. Like at the end of the day, you and your sister have your beefs or whatever. But if anyone outside me, as your sister, says something to you, that's my problem now. We might not like each other, but that's not my problem now. I have a younger sister. I promise you, every single time someone thought they could bully, upset, or whatever, and I was in vicinity, their stuff got shut down. My sister is my everything. I would not allow my sister to be going through the things that your sister is allowing you to go through. It's disrespectful. It's upsetting. It's just rude. And you deserve better. And your sister deserves to be punched in the face because there's no reason for her to have gone this long. And you're adults with kids now. What lesson does it show your kids that A, that you're allowing your sister to bully you, but B, that your sister is bullying you? Because then her kid just realized, oh, my mom's a bully, so I can be a bully. And your niece is like, wait, why are you bullying her? What are you really saying? And she's going to be ashamed when her daughter finds out. But the next time your daughter says, hey, Aunt D, what does DP stand for? And instead of saying your initials, definitely tell her it's double penetration, and tell her that your sister, her mother thought it was okay to do that. And then when she asks what penetration is, she's 10 years old. She's about to hit puberty. She's about to need to know what sex education looks like. Break it down, spill it out, let her know every single part of the detail. And then your niece is also informed of A, what double penetration is, two, probably a safe sex version of whatever is going on in her life soon, and B, how much of a dick your sister is. Like, it is unacceptable the amount of BS that is there. I can't even. The first comment on here says, your sister is using your child to bully you, and she's wondering if you're the butthole. She wasn't worried about her daughter's innocence when promoting the girl to taunt and bully you. Too bad she doesn't appreciate you standing up for yourself. Most bullies don't. It's a good lesson for her. I bet she'll never bully you again. Actions have consequences. Sadly, oftentimes, it's our children who pay the price for our mistakes. You remember that phrase of whatever you did to your parents, your children will push it forward threefold? You've bullied your sister. Your older sister has bullied you. She's going to get that threefold. Her daughter's not going to understand. Like, the sins of the father visit on the sins of the son. Like, that's a thing. Don't put your children in the position to be either a bully or a victim. Yes, teach your kids to stand up for themselves, but teach them not to be a bully at the same time. And you as an adult, you're sticking feet in sand. You said you draw that line. It's over. It's done. Well, let it be over and done. And if your sister isn't okay with that, that's on your sister. That's not on you. So good job for standing up for yourself. Um, I appreciate all that. Hopefully, she understands where things are coming from now. Okay, on to the next one. I'm not sorry. Okay, this one's um looks a little bit more lengthy, but we have now an am I the butthole for not inviting my husband's friend's wife? They deemed you not the butthole, but let's see where this is coming from. There have been strong opinions regarding this situation. So I'm needing outside perspective to determine if I'm the asshole. Recently, a group of us went on a trip. Fake names for clarity. The group consisted of my husband, Nathan, myself, OP, husband's best friend, Lenny, Lenny's wife, Cassie, and two of Lenny's male friends, A and B. Nathan is 29. You yourself, OP, are 27. Lenny is 29. Cassie's 25. And Lenny's friends are 22 and 31. Okay. Lenny and Nathan have been best friends since grade school and talk weekly. Cassie and myself are friends by association, but talk maybe once or twice per year. Not close, but we get along fine. The guys golfed every morning on a trip, leaving Cassie and I to entertain ourselves. We did brunch in the mornings and hung out by the pool in the afternoons. When asked if there was anything Cassie was interested in doing on the trip, she said no, just wanting to enjoy the pool. Noted. Events that led to my decision. Miniature golf was a scheduled group activity. Mind you, it's outdoors in Arizona in July. I said I would not be participating due to having my baby, not wanting the baby in the heat for hours. I went with the group to the mini golf location and mentioned I might pop over to Target next door for the AC until they were finished. Then we would have dinner as planned. Cassie, who already paid for mini golf, was heading to the first hole, overheard, and said, if you go, come find me and I can go too. I'll admit that I was looking forward to just browsing and recharging my social battery with just my baby and I. After a comment, I decided not to go to Target. I realized Cassie is the person that will say yes to anything, even if she isn't truly interested. After brunch on the morning of, I asked if she wanted to go to the malls. She said yes. We arrived and I noticed she didn't look around, but instead hovered. I asked if she wanted to shop at any store in particular. She said no, continued to stand next to me while I browsed. Felt bad for suggesting this idea when she clearly wasn't interested in it, and we went home shortly after. Am I the butthole situation happened near the end of the trip. The group was lounging in the pool, and I briefly mentioned that I wanted to go thrifting. My husband confirmed keeping the baby. While I was getting dressed, he texted me and asked if I invited her. I said no, I kind of want time to myself, and that was it. I headed out and came back 2 hours later to an angry Bob. Cassie made a comment about how she must have missed her invite. I asked if she enjoyed thrifting. She said no, but I still would have gone. I mentioned that I would have felt bad making her wait on me do something that I enjoy, but she does not. She continued to push and clearly offended, even announcing that she told Lenny, I'm getting more mad the longer she's gone. I'll admit that I purposely did not extend the invite given the recent mall experience and knowing she would have said yes to go thrifting. To sum it up, I took the heat from the group the rest of the evening about how I was wrong for not inviting her. It wasn't about whether or not she enjoyed thrifting. It was the principle of not inviting her. My spouse said I should have let her know my plan, but I informed her I wanted alone time. Could I have done this? Yes. But did I feel I needed to explain myself? And from what I know, Cassie, I don't think it would have been received well. So, am I the butthole? No. One, you wanted to go do something by yourself. So you, regardless of everybody else's plans, have the right to take that time. You're staying with your baby. You brought your baby on this trip. It's a people's trip. But everybody needs to recharge themselves privately. Everybody needs that one-on-one time. So you are recharging your battery. You have absolutely no reason. I'm not even reading your edits. You have no reason whatsoever to need to ask, can I spend time by myself? To need to ask, hey, do you want to come with me? If you see someone's uncomfortable doing the things that you like to do, I'm not going to bring that person with me either. And then I invited her to the mall and she just stood and hovered around you. If that's not what she wanted to do, she should have said, hey, can we do the mall and then do something that I like to do? Or bring up something she wanted to do. But it seemed like she just wanted to tag along and just hover. And that's not okay. You have the right to want your space. You informed your husband that you wanted one-on-one time. Why is that big of a deal? And your husband's a butthole for throwing you under the bus. You should have been like, I had the baby. We were all hanging out. My wife wanted one-on-one time to recharge. No big deal. But the fact that he's like, oh, you should have invited her? No, that's not okay. You knew what you were doing, and you did what you needed to do. Not the asshole. I don't even need to read the edits, but I'm going to because it's there. You provided information. But I really think that your husband should have stuck by your side. Said, my wife asked for time by herself. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. There's no need for the baby to be here. Cassie to join me. But whatever. Edit 1. I appreciate the feedback. I spent the last few days self-reflecting and trying to decide if I'm truly the butthole that lacks self-awareness. I see several comments regarding my husband, so this is where he stands on the situation. His defense is that he was loyal to the decision, not the person. He looked at it from a morally right versus wrong stance. I was upset with him knowing that I need me time after too much socialization, not acknowledging it in front of his friends. He stated it wasn't fair for me to put him in a situation to defend me. Edit 2. The trip was 4.5 days in Scottsdale where nobody had been to before. It was unexplored territory for everyone. 2. The guys had tea time every morning and were home by 12 to 1. So I spent every morning 7 to 12 with Cassie and my baby. 3. I spent 0 time by myself, except for the 2 hours I left to go thrifting. 4. No other wives or babies were there. 5. Brunch in the morning was Cassie's idea. When I pulled the Irish goodbye and everybody was in the pool, including Cassie, it wasn't like I left her stranded with no car, no company. Okay. So, not the big deal and still not the butthole. You wanted time to yourself, and again, I think your husband should have stuck up for you. That's not okay. He definitely did it, but it is what it is. When I say I returned to an angry mob and took the heat from the group, this is how it went down. I returned to the B&B, left my shopping bag in the car, walked out to the pool deck to a slow clap from the group with comments such as, welcome back. How is surfing? Must have missed my invite. Did you get anything good? Cassie wasn't very happy. I was getting more mad by the minute. You didn't even tell me you were leaving, etc. Everyone was still outside in the pool or on the pool deck where I left them 2 hours prior. So they were having fun, but because you didn't invite one person, they assumed to make you be a bad person. That's a terrible, terrible thing. People don't understand that sometimes you need to be one-on-one. You don't always need to be with a crowd. You don't always need your friends around you. You don't always need people surrounding you. And the fact that you took time to yourself, brava. Because at the end of the day, you taking time to surround yourself by 100 and something people, that's just not fair on you. And I feel like you should definitely be able to take the time that you need to yourself. That's just it at the end of the day. These people are not your friends, obviously. You're your husband's friends. And at the end of the day, next time, drag your husband on a trip with you and your girlfriend and have him with the baby half the day. And you go out doing whatever you want with your girls in the morning and then whatever in the afternoon. And then see how he feels. See if he needs one-on-one time. See if he needs time away to go be with the boys. And then come back. And then if he does, give him that same treatment. Because it seems like No one seems to understand that you're an individual, even in your coupleship, and you should be able to recharge your batteries. So, I'm just saying, baby girl, baby girl, baby girl. No one there was there to support you, and I apologize. I apologize. But yeah, you're not the asshole. Keep doing you, because you're saving your own sanity. That's it at the end of the day. Okay, we have two more. Um, I have, am I the butthole for not inviting my sister to my wedding after she ruined my proposal? You were voted not the asshole, but let's see what the people say and why they say it. Not let's say what they say, what you say. But getting into it, I, a 29-year-old man, recently got engaged to my girlfriend, 28 female, and it was supposed to be one of the happiest moments of our lives. I had planned a romantic proposal at our favorite spot, a secluded beach where we had our first date. I had everything ready: flowers, a small picnic, the photographer, hiding in a nearby place to capture that moment. Good on you. I love a man who plans. Ugh, a man who plans is great. So, you've got the scene set. Now you just need you and your girlfriend, okay? When the day came, my sister, 32 females, insisted on tagging along. She said she wanted to take a few candid photos of us before the proposal. I was hesitant, but agreed, thinking it might make the moment more special. Big mistake. Oh, your sister's one of them. Okay, great. As we reached the spot, my sister started to act weird, making snarky comments, trying to direct the whole scene like it's a movie. My girlfriend could sense something was off, and the mood was getting ruined. Then, out of nowhere, my sister grabbed the ring box out of my pocket and yelled, "Surprise! Look what he's gonna do." My girlfriend was shocked, and I was furious. As you should. You spent time, effort, and money, because photographers are not cheap. And for him to be taking candid or snapshots out of the way, like, bruh, you should have went with your gut and said, "Nah, fam, I got this. Thank you, but no thank you." And even tell her, you know what? I'm doing X, Y, and Z instead. I don't like the plans. You're right. These aren't the right ones. I'm going to do it this day. Just so she's off your back and kind of just make it is what it is. But anyways, and I'm sorry she ruined your proposal. It already looks like she's a butthole. You're not the butthole. I haven't even read everything, but cool. Let's see. I managed to salvage the proposal somewhat, but that moment was tainted. My girlfriend said yes, but we both felt the proposal was ruined. Later, I confronted my sister, and she's just laughed it off, saying, "I was just trying to help," and that was I was overreacting. Fast forward to our wedding planning, and my fiance and I decided not to invite my sister. We wanted our day to be about us, without unnecessary drama. When my family found out, they were furious. My parents called me heartless, and my sister is playing the victim, saying I'm tearing the family apart over a little joke. Now I'm feeling conflicted. Am I the butthole for not inviting my sister to my wedding after she ruined my proposal? Here are a few other not so minor instances in which my sister has done me wrong. First one. My sister has a long history of attention-seeking behavior. She's the type to fake fainting at parties just to get everyone's attention. She's once accidentally set off a fire alarm at my fiance's birthday party, causing the whole place to evacuate and ruining the celebration. Number two, that wasn't the first time she crossed the line with me. When I got my first big promotion, she announced she was pregnant at the same party, only later to admit she was joking. Another family event, she spiked the punch with alcohol, knowing I was on medication that strictly prohibited drinking. So your sister's out to sabotage major moments in your life. You have every right and are thinking very smart about not letting her ruin this one. And if your parents don't want to come at the end of the day, keep the people that support you and bump your parents. Because at the end of the day, your sister is not being supportive. She's being a butthole. And you have to do what's best for you and your fiance slash future wife. And I wish that you would do what's best for both of us. Both of you. Don't let your sister bully you on your wedding day, and don't let her make the day about her. The day is about you, and the day is about your wife. It's not a family event. It's an event between you and your wife making a covenant before Yahuwah, or in your case, whatever God you believe in. Um, and at the end of the day, it's between y'all. And that's just, it is what it is. Um, let's see. First person. What she did is so ludicrous that my first reaction is perhaps this post isn't real. No one could be that obtuse. I don't blame you one bit for not wanting her at your wedding. You already made the mistake of allowing her to come to the proposal, not the behold. She just laughed it off, saying that she was just trying to help. What might she try to do to help at the wedding if she went? My parents called me heartless. Perhaps your parents are part of the problem and have always enabled her behavior. Um, the whole family's been enabling. I mean, I think OP intended to edit to explain their decision about the wedding, but all it does is make me judge a bit harder about them allowing her to come to the proposal in the first place. The whole family's been enabling. So it's gonna come down hard on OP to put their foot down here, but I would do the same. They're likely gonna regret it if they don't. Yeah. Don't allow your sister to come. You're not the butthole. Stand 10 toes down and don't let anybody walk all over you. Because at the end of the day, it's between y'all. You have to do what's right for your family. And don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Okay. On to the last story. Am I the butthole for getting a vasectomy without telling my wife after she had an abortion without telling me? I'm going to let you guys know that the story was fake. And, or at least not all of it's true. Uh, they posted that on the top of the edit, but we're gonna read it because it sounds like there was some controversy. For them to say that they were telling people to stop stalking them here, but it seems like there's a bunch of people with a bunch of opinions. So we're gonna ride this roller coaster. Okay, my wife, 32 female, and I, 34 male, are generally good. Married 6 years, and other than the subject of this post, there are no financial, job, or similar issues between us. We have some major up and downs with family planning. She had 2 abortions despite knowing my strong objections. I didn't even know about the first one until she told me about the second one. She revealed the first abortion at the same time she told me she was pregnant again and planning to terminate. She knew how I felt about it and kept it from me, which was a huge blow. We worked through it, it's her choice, etc. But I was devastated and I feel completely powerless. To avoid going through the pain again, I decided to get a vasectomy without discussing it with her. I thought it was the best way to prevent more pain for me. I did not tell her initially because I thought it was fair game to do what I wanted with my body, the same way she did. In the long run, I did not tell her because she did not seem important. It did not seem important because she repeatedly said she did not want kids. Fast forward to a few months ago, she told me she was pregnant. I was absolutely shocked and accused her of cheating because I had a vasectomy. I'll admit, part of me felt a weird sense of pride thinking that I caught her cheating so obviously without having to do a bunch of digging or being gaslit for months/years. I also presumed that she would abort again, so I didn't think anything about our baby at all. But she said she was keeping it, which is a weird turn of events. But hey, we'll take it. After saying many things I now regret, I learned that the vasectomy might not have worked, so we did a DNA test, which I didn't even know could be done during pregnancy. Turns out the baby's mine. I'm excited and apologize repeatedly. But she's incredibly distant in talking about divorcing me. She says I betrayed her by getting a vasectomy without telling her, and it's hurt my initial reaction. Think I was more interested in accusing her of cheating than in the pregnancy. She said I was gleeful about catching her cheating and didn't care about the baby. I'm frustrated because she's being short-sighted. We're finally having a child. She wants to abandon the relationship. There's no infidelity. There's no breach of trust. She did what she wanted with her body. I did the same. Now it feels like there's a double standard. It's okay for her to make those decisions, but not for me. I know there's a bunch of breach of communication here, but that's mutual. I think this is an everyone sucks situation, and we should be able to work through it together, especially with a kid on the way. Am I completely off base? No. Everyone here sucks. You have the right to do the things that you want to do with your body. She has the right to do the things that she wants to do with her body. But neither of you communicated that, hey, I don't want kids right now, so maybe we should have more protection so that way I don't get pregnant. And you didn't communicate that you wanted kids, or if you did, you guys were never on the same page. And until you guys get on the same page, protection should have been your number one thing. And I know the story isn't real, but at the end of the day, communication needed to be stronger. And it is your body, so you have to do with it what you will, and it is her body, and she's allowed to do with it what she wills. Now, that being said, certain things about being a married couple is things that you share. Now, if you're like, hey, by the way, you shouldn't have gotten these abortions, you don't know what she was going through at the time. You don't know exactly. She might have been telling you how she, some of the things she felt, but not probably not all of it. And at the end of the day, she needed to do what was best for her at the time. And that doesn't make the situation right. I'm not condoning it. But again, her body, her choice. And because you had the feelings that you were having, instead of communicating with her how you should have, again, knowing the story is fake, she should respect the fact that it is your body and you have the right to do with it what you will. She cannot say it's my body, my choice without allowing you to say the same. That being said, on to the edit. The comments are here are generally awful and hateful. I don't plan to post again and I regret it. To be clear, I did not get a vasectomy for revenge. I did it for myself. Did not tell her about it as a form of protest or revenge, self-preservation, keeping the peace. Second, our marriage has been good. I love being with her and want to continue being with her. I don't want my marriage to end and all the negative comments are unhelpful. Third, I strongly believe that our transgressions should equal out. If I can get over her hiding an abortion, or at least be willing to continue the relationship after it, I would like to get the same courtesy from her. I feel like this is also unfair, and she is a marriage therapist, which makes this even more unreasonable for her to act like this. Oh, this whole thing makes me feel icky. I don't know. I feel like for the both of you, you should have had a conversation or whatever. It shouldn't be like this. Someone replied, "If you want a child so bad, why the f are y'all married?" I don't even know. Y'all aren't even on the same page about that, and y'all are out there doing what you're doing. Again, knowing the story is fake. That's not just not how it goes. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what a dysfunctional, petty relationship looks like. Everyone sucks. You two actively deserve each other. Neither of you deserves the poor innocent baby. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Y'all aren't on the same page about y'all shouldn't be together. Um, Everyone sucks, but the weirdest thing that you think your relationship is generally good. I feel bad for your child. Yeah, there's no way. Like, is not a good relationship. Everyone sucks. No breach of trust. What trust? She didn't tell you, you didn't tell her. Honestly, if you can't talk to each other about these life-changing issues, why are you married to each other? It's a conversation y'all need to have. Y'all need to be able to communicate with each other. You shouldn't be on opposite sides. Everyone sucks. You're both childish twats who clearly can't trust each other nor know how to communicate. Grow up and get a counseling or move on. Yikes, and you think you two can bring a child into this world. Most, if everyone says, everyone sucks and y'all can't communicate, two wrongs don't make it right, so on and so forth. Um, but here's my biggest thing. Who who finds the time and energy to make a story like this? This should have been in the title of the story was fiction. But at the end of the day, there are some good learning points from this. One, if you are married or going to be married, you need to communicate with your spouse. Two, before you get married, y'all should be on the same page about having babies. Because one of you shouldn't want babies and the other one doesn't, and you guys get married. Because you're going to have an unhealthy relationship. Because at some point, one's going to be upset that the other doesn't want to get a baby. There's potential of cheating in that place to have children and all that other. Two, you have made life-changing decisions about each other, your body, you getting the vasectomy and your wife getting the abortions. Abortions are not easy on the body. So if your wife was getting them, it could cause her not to carry. There's so many health risks with it. It's just not even funny. I don't even know why you're playing on this level. The fact that the story is fiction, I don't know how you have the energy to write something like this. It's just, ugh. But at the end of the day, regardless of who you are and what gender you are, you have the right to make the decisions about your body. But if you're married, you should communicate with your partner to make sure things are understood on both sides. Two, communication is key in any relationship, regardless of what stage you're at. Try to communicate as often as possible, as much as possible, as you feel comfortable. Um, and three, don't get in a relationship with somebody if you want kids and they don't. That don't make no sense to me. And if you don't want kids, don't get in a relationship with someone who does. Again, makes no sense to me. Because now you're just setting yourselves up for failure. This was just there's a whole boat of whatever, weirdness, grossness. I don't even know how to say it. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We've had 4 amazing slash weird am I the butthole stories. Um, we had trust issues here and there, rightfully wronged children, um, bullying left, right, and the center. Um, you should, um, we have, for your bullies, stand up to them. Stand 10 toes down. They're going to stop defending themselves when you call them out for their BS. And you have to call them out for their BS in front of people that matter to them. So if your family's not sticking up for you, who's their crush? Who's whatever? That's the person that's going to stand up. And you're going to be like, oh, maybe I should be a little bit better because you're going to make me look bad. You need to be able to defend your partner when your partner wants time alone or whatever, regardless of your situation. But you should never have to feel like your partner isn't defending you. So when you go on a trip and you need that one-on-one time because you're with that group trip, that's okay. And anyone who guilts you, that's not okay. They're not your friends. And if your husband or spouse doesn't support you while you're on that trip, I don't know why you brought them in the first place. Do you? Don't let anybody socially stress you out. Do what you gotta do. And never invite a family member that's sabotaged you in the past to a current and special event that you're going through. That's just it. It don't make sense to me. I don't know why that made sense to you. And share your business with your personal partner. And I mean, yes, you have your own autonomy. Yes, you can do what you need to do with your body, but understand whatever you're doing with your body is affecting your partner at the end of the day. And it is what it is. That's just how life is. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. This is your girl Nici. See you next time.